Who's the daddy? Easy guys, Dom here from Cringy Dad Gaming. So recently Activision announced their new Call of Duty game for 2017, and as I'm sure you're aware, they're going back to their roots with the World War II era. It's about time, in my personal opinion. I kind of felt Call of Duty lost its way a little bit when it started going more towards the futuristic setting. I personally didn't like that. It took a lot of the skill of the game away, went a little bit too fast paced with wall running and jetpacks, and kind of lost interest from me, and I think also a lot of interest from a lot of the true veteran COD players. Why else would they be making big emphasis on, back to its roots and boots on the ground, which they mentioned a lot within the reveal, to get those Call of Duty fans back? Now, that's fine if there's plenty of fans out there like the futuristic setting. There's nothing wrong with that. However, I personally just didn't like it. The fact that they're going back to this World War II setting is great for me. I think it's really dark and gritty and is, I suppose, really more kind of hard hitting because it was a real conflict, not based on fiction. It really did happen, and you go through history, you can see that it was a pretty grim war for pretty much everyone involved. The thing I like about this is it's got a good strong cast in the single player campaign, and a strong single player campaign I think is interesting, and it does really pull into the whole multiplayer part of the game, which for me about Call of Duty is a big thing. Obviously Josh Duhamel being one of the main actors in this game, obviously well renowned for Transformers amongst other things, who's going to be leading the cast here. Now, for those of you who weren't aware of this, my channel originally stemmed from Call of Duty gameplay. I did actually play a lot of the Call of Duties right back from the early ones, and back in the early days of my channel, those Call of Duty games like World at War and Black Ops were the ones that I really enjoyed posting videos on. For those of you guys that haven't seen any of my early footage, it is still up on the channel, but here's a little clip just to see how cringy things were back in the day around 7 years ago.
Defeat all that stand before us.
Easy guys, Pure Evil here. Nice quick little game of TDM for you on Summit. So moving on though, however, the things that I really want to see and things I don't want to see in the multiplayer game. Let's start with the things that I do want to see in the multiplayer game. Now, I really would like to see tank v tank mode. I think that would be pretty cool. They've emphasised a lot of tank warfare within the reveal, not really mentioning much if that's going to come across into the multiplayer. Now, when I say, a tank v tank mode, I don't mean obviously with infantry involved. It's just purely tank on tank. Now, I know there's some free-to-play game out there that is tank v tank. I just think this may add a little extra element to the game itself. Maybe an aerial combat mode as well. Obviously Spitfires would be pretty cool, or even just a general bombing kind of run in terms of a game mode where you have to bomb certain objectives. That sounds like it might be pretty cool as a multiplayer game. Maybe there could be a team of people on anti-aircraft guns in order to try and stop these planes from dropping bombs on certain locations. That sounds pretty cool to me. They could probably do something with that. Something else I'd also like to see in this game, and I think they may be doing something similar to this, is a war mode. The war mode being where you've got to take over objectives before you move on. That may sound very similar to a game mode within Battlefield, but I think that really does work. And I think they mentioned briefly that there was going to be a mode where you're storming the beach on D-Day, and obviously you've got to make it through the enemy lines. That to me sounds pretty good, and I really think they could build something on that. One thing they definitely need to get right in this game is the matchmaking and the connections. With the next gen consoles now, I think they really are going to be giving themselves more to work with. One thing that plagued some of the earlier Call of Duty games in the multiplayer area was the fact that the connections weren't always great. People would obviously a lot of times complain about lag. They were shooting people first, yet they died. That's obviously an internet meme now, or memes, but you will find that in most instances was the case sometimes. The lag was terrible. One thing you think you were doing wasn't actually registering on the other player. Connection-based matchmaking, I think, is going to be very, very important to be able to match people based on their connection rather than skill. I personally feel I'd rather be based on a connection, so everyone's playing on a fair connection. Now, things I don't want to see coming back into the multiplayer, things like the Juggernaut, where people would have the additional health, and things like the second chance, or the perks where people could be revived. That was very annoying, how you would shoot someone, they'd go down, you'd need to reload, and they'd shoot you with the pistol and their mate would revive them. I think that was really terrible, and I think they need to definitely get rid of that. Another thing they definitely don't want to pull back into the game is things like the martyrdom. Now, for you guys who remember this, it would be where someone would die and they would drop a grenade. It would explode and usually kill you, and maybe even sometimes kill more people within the area as well, especially playing games, things like that, maybe the headquarters mode and things like that. With that aside though, going forward, they've also added in some more interesting things into the game from what we can see. Now, there's nothing obviously more than this screenshot here at this point, but it looks like they're adding a social area for you to meet up and chat with your friends and the players online. That seems quite interesting. Let's see how that turns out, and I do know that we're going to be getting more information on the multiplayer and this social hub area with the E3 conference that will be coming very soon. But, one thing I'm hoping they really do get right is the zombies. They've obviously just gave us a little glimpse at the zombies. Now, obviously, Treyarch being well renowned from zombies back in World at War. Let's see if Sledgehammer can actually pull off a decent zombie package. I really do hope they do, because majority of my time back in Call of Duty was playing Call of Duty Zombies. I really like that whole kind of survival element that you had to survive for as many rounds as you could, and I really like that. They did start building some good story into it, but some of the Call of Duty Zombies did start getting a bit silly. But what can we see from Call of Duty Zombies? Let's just hope that they do take a vein out of Treyarch's book, and that doesn't even make any sense. But hey, you guys know what I'm talking about. But without further ado, let's just say that I really am excited to see this World War II era coming back for Call of Duty, and let's just hope we get a really strong multiplayer and a really strong zombies from this. If you guys are really looking forward to the new Call of Duty game, please do like the video. Please don't forget to subscribe as well. It really is appreciated. It's going to help the channel grow. And let's just watch this space for more Call of Duty. Thanks for watching. Who's the daddy?